Hey, so in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I keep track of all of the things that I do with social media and like my Bookstagram. But really, you can do this with like any type of side hustle or any like business that you're running, or if you have like work and you're a creative. I think this would probably be really helpful. But pretty much, I have been working on this system for the last couple of months, actually, and I've tried to make it really like neuroscience based, very like easy, kind of a way so that when you're kind of trying to like run your life and all the things that function throughout your life, whether that's, in family, work, daily life rituals, affirmations, manifestations, habits, all these things, it kind of feels like really seamless and like you're not losing track of things. And you really have like a way of having something funnel so you don't have to like remember everything. So this is kind of like, I'm calling it the gentle second brain because I'm trying to make it like really cute and cozy and like a place that you kind of like want to come into, and it doesn't feel like really crazy, but that is also seamless and that has and holds pretty much anything that like you can't or don't want to remember. And like I said, there's kind of rooms for everything. So whether you have kids and you need stuff, to help remember things for school or for pets or for yourself, I've kind of been working on making like this really, really intuitive and very like neuro happy. And so this is kind of how I'm manifesting my life. I'm kind of in a place where I'm really trying to shift my habits and really transform myself into somebody that sticks to her word, that really becomes what I say that I will, and that really holds herself to her habits. And so this is the system that I've come up with. It's still a work in progress, and I do think that eventually I will plan to kind of make this available for people or for you if you feel like this is something that you would like to have in your hands as well. So I did start at the top with the word of the year. For me, this word is to receive, and that's not necessarily just financially, but just like receiving in friendships and connection. And just so, like I said, kind of a lot of very neuroscience-y stuff here, images to kind of help me figure out the life that I'm building, my seasonal focus right now, which I am trying to jump into a lot of the bookish stuff. So I'm trying to build a community here through my email list and a reading journal that I'm offering. Quick Thoughts is kind of like the easy way of whenever I have something that I want to remember. I still have to set it up, and I'm thinking of making a video on how to do that, to where I just kind of do like a voice note on my phone, and then it will automatically, either a voice note or I can type it in, and it will automatically filter into this quick thoughts area. And so that way throughout the week, as I have things that I need to put on the calendar or that I want to remember, but that I don't have time to like really jot down, that will all kind of pile up here. And then at the end of the week, when I get time to sit down here, I'll come in and filter it into the appropriate place. So for tasks for today, these are the things that I have to do, and they are separated by either rituals or tasks. Tasks are things that you're just going to do one time. Rituals are things that you're doing regularly. So I am a nurse, and so regularly I do have to do licensing renewals. And so I have a reminder that I do that yearly, and then I set the date, and then whenever that's due, I do apply for reimbursement because I work at a hospital, so that's really nice. And so this kind of helps me remember, like, oh, I need to, one, renew my license, and two, get reimbursed for that. There's also a system in here to help eliminate services and to, if I have any subscriptions, which is also another template. So there's hundreds of templates inside this system that will kind of tie in together. So when I come here, I could just open this page, and I'm not going to do that now because that's private, but it would have all of your subscriptions, and then you can go ahead and easily do and eliminate anything that you need to downgrade or remove. And once again, that's something that I do quarterly. I do need to send my email newsletter. And so here, this is kind of just like the tasky things that I need to do. And then if I'm working on any projects, and then my weekly intentions. I am a lady, so I do have a cycle, and whether you are menstruating or not, or if you're pregnant, I do have a system where this kind of just quickly shows you how you're going to be feeling for the week. So this week creatively, I'm going to be very reflective. This is kind of just generalized based off of what your hormones are looking like, based off of, what's cycle stage you're in. And so right now, because I'm in my menstrual period, I should be eating a lot of iron and omega-3s. My energy is going to be very low. So if I want to work out, it's going to be something that's a little more restorative and a little lighter. And then I do have like all of these areas. So if you follow me and you have my reading tracker, I do also have my own here. So for every week that I want to read something, I do have my currently reading. So right now, these are the 3 books that I am currently focusing on. And then this will dig back into the main tracker. So if you've downloaded my freebie, this is the exact same one that I use for my own personal library. And then, so same thing with anybody that I want to learn from, if there are any recipes for the week that I'm making this week. And so these are all databases that I have created. I also do and have found the research showing how good journaling is. So journaling the day, keeping track of your habits, and kind of just setting your intentions for the day. Very easy and quickly. This will all stay saved. And so this is something that you can later reference, to kind of see how you've been keeping track of habits. And also, throughout the week, sometimes I do have Notion AI. Sometimes I'll just ask it kind of like, what are like my growth opportunities, or what are things that went really well this week that maybe I might not have realized. And I find that that's like really helpful, and it can be really motivating to finding a lot of these blind spots that I otherwise probably wouldn't see on my own. Okay, so to get to the good stuff, and then once again, sorry to just my ADHD brain, I do use a Pomodoro tracker, and this is mainly because if I don't put a tracker on, I will sit here for hours, and my brain will just start to fry, and things don't no longer process, and I, for the longest time, didn't know why, and then I learned about the Pomodoro method, and I do follow Andrew Huberman, and he talks about how your brain has this capacity. You can do less than 90 minutes. I do 90 minutes because that's kind of where I max out, and then I do about 20 minutes of kind of like downtime. So I'll go outside and I'll walk around and kind of clear my brain, and then I know that when I come back, my brain will be much more focused, and I will be able to produce much better content and just to be more focused at anything that I'm doing. So that's why that's there. But to jump into the bookish stuff, I will go into the studio. So like I said, I am a bookish creator, but if you are any type of creator, this would work and kind of replace that for you. The task stuff that was on the main screen will also filter by each room. So this specifically is everything that has to do with the studio. So these are the things that I have to focus on this week. And then these are projects that are specific to anything that I'm creating, and then all of my bookish content. And so when I have my bookish content, let's say I do have my original content, which are things that I kind of just post, and then I have upcoming book reviews that I do. So let's say that I want to do Bloodthirsty Beloved. I have this filtered based off of what I'm currently reviewing, what I'm reading, what I've read, and what's on my TBR. And then, like I said, I have everything here to kind of show me in a calendar view, and all of the books that I've previously read, and then filtered by year. And so then when I come in here, I kind of have this filtered in a way that goes along with how I produce my blog. So my blog very strategically comes from top to bottom. I do spicy chapters. I like to do the dedication because many times I find that, there is a depth to the dedication related to the book and what the author's trying to convey. So that's something that I like to include. And so as I go through, as you guys know, I'm also really big on like song pairings. I really like to encapsulate like the feeling of books in a song, so that when I have like a playlist and I go through that playlist, I can go through like 5 or 6 different songs on my drive if I listen to 5 or 6 different songs, and it just like helps me reminisce and live in that story again. I do have everything that I pretty much need, like all of my quick links that I will need easily for my blog, so that when I have to post my blog or post on Instagram, I quickly am able to just click and it will automatically take me to where I need to go. I'm also a quotes lover, so I have like a quote section where I pretty much pull all of the quotes that I really, really like. There's usually a ton. I usually come up to like 20 to 50, I try to post less than like 15, maybe sometimes 18, sometimes, just really depending on how I feel about a story. But I try to kind of go back and make it, something that, is able to connect with maybe someone who hasn't read the story. But this is kind of like my workflow. I have made it to where, like, I know, okay, here are my quotes. I do have a Canva folder where I have templates for how I do my posts, and so they have kind of like the same font and pattern. And then my background creation. And then once I do these things, I check these off and then I move along. So first I have to post on my Instagram, then I go to my blog, and then I can just click here and it'll take me straight to my blog. And then I know all the things that I have to do, my rating guide, indexing things on Google takes me directly there. And so this is kind of like my process of posting one book review, both on Instagram and on my blog. And so it makes it really, really easy. And then once I'm done reviewing, I can go ahead and archive it, and it will no longer sit up here. And then the next books that are coming up will come up, and I will naturally know what's missing, what's not missing. And when the time comes for me to post, I can go ahead and post things easily and quickly, or as quickly as I would hope. But if you are not a creator and you just kind of want a library, I do offer a free, under the retreat in my mind, I do have a library Notion template that I offer. And this is the same one that you guys have. That I offer for free is the same one that I use. And these are pretty much all of the books that I currently have in my library. Like I said, these are the ones that I'm currently reading. But when you finish a book, or like, let's say you change the status to currently reading, it not only is something that that's kind of living here, it also comes and lives in your main studio, and you're able to really keep track of and not forget the things that you want to have at the forefront of your mind. So full circle, I know this was kind of long and I've kind of explained a lot, but I have made it to where I have a bunch of kind of easy ways of managing my content. And eventually I am working on this. Eventually, I think becoming a course and how I explain, why I kind of strategically did a lot of these things. I'm still working on making this like really pretty and cute, and a place where, you want to come into and you want to live here, and kind of helps manage your entire life, whether that is, family or tasks, habits, like I said, or your content creation. So I know this was kind of long, but if you have any interest in this, I think I'm going to just start kind of like a waiting list. And if it is long enough, or if you guys find enough interest in this, I can eventually make this something that becomes available to